Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel USA Old Coins. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of old United States coins. From the shiny Lincoln pennies to rare Jefferson nickels and historic Washington quarters, each coin tells a story about America's past. These coins aren't just currency, they're tiny pieces of history, carrying the art, culture, and milestones of their era. Whether you're a collector, history enthusiast, or just curious about the value hidden in your pocket change, you're in for an exciting journey. Let's explore the stories behind these iconic coins and uncover the treasures that lie in plain sight. Top 1. The story of the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1966 begins in a decade filled with change, hope, and powerful moments in American history. As the nation moved through the mid-1960s, everyday objects like coins quietly carried the spirit of the time. This humble penny, small enough to rest on a fingertip, was part of millions of daily transactions, yet it also carried the weight of tradition, memory, and national pride wherever it traveled. When you first look at the 1966 Lincoln penny, the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln immediately draws your attention. His calm expression feels steady and reassuring, almost as if he is watching over the country during a period of transformation. This design had already become a symbol of trust and continuity by 1966, reminding Americans that even as society changed, some values remained firmly in place. The year 1966 itself was unique in the world of U.S. coinage. During this time, the U.S. Mint made special decisions to meet the growing demand for coins caused by a rapidly expanding economy. Pennies were being produced in enormous quantities, and people across the country used them every single day without ever imagining that one example could one day be worth a fortune. This penny was struck without a mint mark, a quiet detail that tells an important story. Coins without a mint mark during this period were produced in Philadelphia, the heart of American coin manufacturing. From that historic location, countless 1966 Lincoln pennies entered circulation, jingling in pockets, rolling across countertops, and disappearing into jars and drawers. The metal composition of the 1966 Lincoln penny adds another layer to its story. Made primarily of copper, it carries a warm, rich tone that deepens with age. Over time, these pennies developed surfaces that reflected their journeys, each mark and color change acting like a fingerprint of history. Imagine the hands that may have touched this coin over the years. It might have been used to buy a newspaper reporting on major events of the 1960s, dropped into a tip jar at a roadside diner, or saved by a child who loved the shine of new coins. Each penny lived a life before becoming an object of curiosity and value. For decades, the 1966 Lincoln penny was overlooked. It blended in with other coins of similar appearance, rarely sparking excitement. Collectors focused their attention elsewhere, believing that nothing special could come from such a common year. Yet history has a way of surprising those who are patient enough to look closely. As time passed, collectors began to re-examine coins from the 1960s with fresh eyes. They realized that condition, striking quality, and rarity within high grades could transform an ordinary penny into something extraordinary. The 1966 Lincoln penny slowly stepped out of the shadows and into the spotlight. The thrill of discovery is what drives many collectors, and this penny embodies that feeling perfectly. Finding a well-preserved example feels like uncovering a secret hidden in plain sight. The sharpness of Lincoln's features, the clarity of the date, and the smooth fields all come together to create a coin that feels almost untouched by time. Every serious collector knows that the smallest details can make the biggest difference. With the 1966 Lincoln penny, minute characteristics separate common examples from those that inspire awe. This is where passion meets patience, and where knowledge transforms curiosity into excitement, stories began circulating within the coin community about exceptional examples of this penny. Whispers of rare conditions and extraordinary preservation fueled interest, turning what was once ignored into a subject of fascination. The penny became a reminder that history often hides its treasures quietly. The idea that a single cent could represent such immense potential captures the imagination. It challenges the assumption that value must always be obvious. Instead, the 1966 Lincoln penny teaches that worth can grow over time, shaped by rarity, demand, and the stories people attach to an object. Collectors who study this coin often speak about its balance of simplicity and significance. There is no flashy redesign or dramatic imagery, just a classic portrait and familiar inscriptions. Yet within that simplicity lies a powerful connection to American heritage. Holding this penny today feels different than it did decades ago. What was once spare change now carries an aura of importance. The weight feels heavier, not because the metal changed, but because its meaning has grown. The 1966 Lincoln penny also symbolizes the unpredictability of collecting. It proves that no coin should ever be dismissed too quickly. What seems ordinary today may become extraordinary tomorrow, depending on how history unfolds and how collectors respond. For many people, discovering the story behind this penny sparks a deeper appreciation for coin collecting itself. It opens the door to curiosity, encouraging people to look at their own coins with renewed interest and excitement. This penny stands as a quiet witness to the past, bridging generations through something as simple as currency. It reminds us that history is not only found in museums and books, but also in the small objects we handle every day. As collectors continue to search through rolls, albums, and inherited collections, the 1966 Lincoln penny remains a symbol of hope. Hope that the next coin turned over might reveal something remarkable, something that changes how we see value forever. The journey of this penny is not just about metal and minting. It is about time, patience, and the way perception evolves. What began as a simple tool of commerce has become a story worth telling and retelling. Each time this coin is discussed, it reinforces the idea that every piece of currency has a voice. The 1966 Lincoln penny speaks softly, but its message is powerful for those who choose to listen. Collectors often describe moments of holding such a coin as unforgettable. The realization that something so small can carry such significance creates a lasting emotional connection. This penny invites everyone, from beginners to experienced collectors, to slow down and pay attention. It encourages exploration, learning, and respect for the history embedded in everyday objects. In the end, the 1966 Lincoln 1-cent penny stands as a testament to hidden value and timeless design. It proves that even the most familiar coin can rise to extraordinary heights, with documented examples reaching a value of $186,000. If you have coins of your own, be sure to comment below and share what you have so the channel can help you learn more about them. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and like the video to support more fascinating coin stories just like this. Top 2. The story of the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1967 begins during a time when the nation was moving fast, yet holding tightly to familiar symbols. In the middle of social change and cultural shifts, this small copper coin quietly passed from hand to hand, unnoticed by most, yet deeply connected to everyday American life. When you first see the 1967 Lincoln penny, it feels comfortingly familiar. Abraham Lincoln's portrait appears calm and steady, a face Americans had trusted on their coins for decades. In a world filled with uncertainty and transformation, this simple design offered a sense of stability that people rarely stop to think about. The year 1967 holds a special place in U.S. coin history. During this period, the U.S. Mint was focused on producing massive quantities of coins to keep up with demand. Collectors at the time were not paying close attention, and very few imagined that coins from this era would ever be considered special. One interesting detail about the 1967 Lincoln penny is the absence of a mint mark. This was not an accident. During the mid-1960s, mint marks were intentionally removed to discourage hoarding. As a result, every 1967 penny shares this quiet characteristic, linking them all to a unique moment in minting history. The composition of the 1967 penny adds warmth to its story. Made primarily of copper, the coin has a rich tone that reflects light differently depending on its age and preservation. Over the years, that copper surface has told stories of circulation, storage, and survival. Imagine the journey this penny may have taken. It could have been part of a grocery purchase, slipped into a pocket after buying candy, or saved in a jar on a kitchen shelf. Each moment added another invisible chapter to its life. For a long time, the 1967 Lincoln penny was considered ordinary. It was abundant, easy to find, and rarely discussed. Collectors looked past it, focusing instead on older dates or dramatic errors that seemed more exciting at the time. As decades passed, perspectives began to change. Collectors started revisiting coins from overlooked years, paying closer attention to condition, strike quality, and originality. The 1967 penny slowly began to gain respect within the numismatic world. The idea that condition can transform value is central to this coin story. While most examples show wear, a perfectly preserved piece feels almost frozen in time. Such coins stand out instantly, capturing attention with their sharp details and glowing surfaces. Lincoln's features on a high-quality 1967 penny appear bold and lifelike. The lettering looks crisp, the date stands strong, and the field seems smooth and untouched. These visual details create a powerful emotional response for collectors who know what they are seeing. The excitement of finding such a penny is difficult to describe. It often begins as a simple glance, followed by a moment of disbelief, and then a rush of curiosity. Could this really be something special? That question fuels the passion of coin collecting. Stories began circulating about exceptional 1967 pennies that defied expectations. These stories traveled through collector communities, inspiring others to search their own collections and take a second look at what they once ignored. This penny represents the idea that rarity is not always about low production numbers. Sometimes, rarity is created by survival. Coins that remain in extraordinary condition after decades become scarce, even if millions were originally made. The 1967 Lincoln penny also teaches patience. It reminds collectors that value often reveals itself slowly, over years or even generations. What seems insignificant today may become remarkable tomorrow. Holding a well-preserved example feels like holding a small piece of untouched history. The coin becomes more than money. It becomes a time capsule from the late 1960s, preserved against all odds. Many collectors describe the emotional connection they feel when studying such a coin. It sparks imagination, curiosity, and a deeper respect for the artistry and craftsmanship involved in even the smallest denominations. The simplicity of the design is part of its power. There are no dramatic changes or bold experiments, just a classic image that has stood the test of time. This simplicity allows the coin's condition and story to shine. As more people learn about the hidden potential of this penny, interest continues to grow. New collectors are drawn in by the idea that something so small can hold such surprising importance. The 1967 Lincoln penny encourages people to slow down and observe. It challenges the habit of overlooking the ordinary and invites curiosity into everyday objects. For many, discovering the story behind this coin becomes a gateway into the broader world of numismatics. It opens doors to learning, research, and a deeper appreciation of history. This penny has witnessed decades pass by, yet it remains unchanged in form. That timeless presence connects the past with the present in a way few objects can. Each example that survives in exceptional condition adds to the legend of this coin. Together, they form a narrative of endurance, chance, and quiet significance. The appeal of the 1967 Lincoln penny lies not just in its potential worth, but in the lesson it teaches. Value is not always obvious, and sometimes the greatest treasures are hiding in plain sight. Collectors continue to search, hoping to experience that moment of discovery. The thrill of finding something extraordinary where no one expected it keeps the story alive. This coin stands as a reminder that history lives in our hands. Every penny has traveled through time, carrying stories we may never fully know. In the final chapter of its story, the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1967 proves that even the most familiar coin can reach astonishing heights, with exceptional examples valued at $182,000. If you have coins of your own, comment below and share them so the channel can help you learn more. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and like the video to support more captivating coin stories like this one. Top 3. The story of the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1971 begins in a time when America was stepping into a new era. The early 70s carried a different rhythm, shaped by changing lifestyles, new technology, and a shifting sense of identity. Quietly, without ceremony, this small copper coin moved through that world, unnoticed by most, yet present in nearly every pocket. When you first look at the 1971 Lincoln penny, there is an immediate sense of familiarity. Abraham Lincoln's portrait feels timeless, a steady presence that had already watched over generations of Americans. By this point, his image had become more than a design. It was a symbol of trust woven into daily life. The year 1971 itself was significant in American history, and coins from this period reflect a nation balancing tradition and change. While headlines spoke of major events, the penny continued doing its simple job, proving that even during uncertain times, everyday life moved forward. This particular penny was struck without a mint mark, linking it to the Philadelphia Mint. That small detail quietly connects the coin to one of the most historic centers of American coin production, where millions of coins were created to serve a growing and evolving economy. The composition of the 1971 Lincoln penny gives it a warm, distinctive character. Made primarily of copper, it carries a natural glow that changes over time. As years pass, the surface develops tones that tell stories of handling, storage, and survival. Imagine the journey this penny may have taken. It could have paid for a phone call, rested in a school lunch tray, or been dropped into a jar on a dresser. Each moment added to its invisible history, even if no one thought twice about it. For many years, the 1971 Lincoln penny was considered ordinary. It was common, easy to find, and rarely discussed among collectors. Most people spent it without hesitation, unaware that it might one day attract serious attention. As time passed, collectors began to look back at coins from the early 1970s with renewed curiosity. They realized that not all value comes from age alone. Condition, preservation, and rarity at the highest levels began to change how this penny was viewed. The difference between a typical example and an exceptional one is striking. In well-preserved condition, Lincoln's features appear sharp and confident, the lettering stands strong, and the fields look smooth and almost untouched. Seeing such a penny for the first time can be surprising. It challenges assumptions and sparks excitement, reminding collectors that hidden gems often come from the most unexpected places. stories started circulating within the collecting community about extraordinary 1971 pennies. These stories inspired people to check old jars, inherited collections, and forgotten albums, hoping to discover something remarkable. This penny teaches an important lesson about survival. Millions were made, but very few remained in pristine condition. Over decades of circulation, only a small number avoided wear, damage, or discoloration. Holding a high-quality example feels like holding a moment frozen in time. The coin becomes more than currency, it becomes a quiet witness to history, preserved against all odds. Collectors often describe the emotional connection they feel when studying such a coin. It sparks imagination, curiosity, and respect for the craftsmanship involved in even the smallest denomination. The design itself remains simple and powerful. There are no dramatic changes or flashy elements, just a classic portrait and familiar inscriptions that allow the coin's condition to speak for itself. As interest in overlooked years grew, the 1971 Lincoln penny slowly gained recognition. It became a symbol of how value can emerge long after a coin's original purpose has faded. This penny also represents patience. Its story unfolded over decades, reminding collectors that true significance often takes time to be understood and appreciated. Looking closely at the coin encourages a slower way of seeing. It invites people to pay attention to details, to question assumptions, and to explore the history hidden in everyday objects. For many new collectors, learning about this penny becomes an entry point into the wider world of numismatics. It shows that discovery is possible without chasing only the oldest or rarest dates. The 1971 Lincoln penny connects generations through something small and familiar. Parents, children, and grandparents all likely handled this coin at some point, sharing a quiet link through time. Each surviving high-grade example strengthens the legend of this penny. Together, they form a story of chance, care, and endurance that continues to fascinate collectors. The appeal of this coin lies not just in potential worth, but in the reminder that history often hides in plain sight. What seems ordinary today may become extraordinary tomorrow. Collectors continue searching, driven by curiosity and hope. The thrill of discovery keeps the story alive and inspires others to look more closely at what they already have. This penny proves that even the smallest denomination can carry immense significance. Its journey from spare change to collector treasure is a story worth telling. And the final chapter of its journey, the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1971 stands as a powerful example of hidden value, with exceptional specimens reaching a value of $157,000. And if you have coins of your own, be sure to comment below so the channel can help you learn more about them. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and like the video to support more captivating coin stories like this. Top 4. The story of the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1978 begins in a time when the nation was moving forward while still holding on to familiar symbols. The late 1970s were filled with quiet determination, and through everyday moments, this small coin continued its journey, passing unnoticed from hand to hand. At first glance, the 1978 Lincoln penny feels comfortably familiar. Abraham Lincoln's portrait appears calm and thoughtful, a steady presence that had already become part of American daily life. By this time, the design was deeply ingrained in the nation's identity. This penny was created during a period when the U.S. Mint focused on efficiency and consistency. Millions were produced to meet demand, ensuring that commerce flowed smoothly. No one at the time imagined that one of these ordinary pennies would later capture the attention of serious collectors. The absence of a mint mark on the 1978 penny quietly links it to the Philadelphia Mint. This small detail connects the coin to a long tradition of American coinage, Rooted in one of the most historic minting locations in the country, the metal composition of the 1978 Lincoln penny gives it a warm, earthy character. Its surface reflects light differently depending on how it has aged, telling silent stories of circulation, storage, and survival over the decades. Imagine where this penny might have traveled. It may have been used to buy a cup of coffee, dropped into a vending machine, or tucked away in a childhood collection. Each moment added to its unseen history. For many years, the 1978 Lincoln penny was overlooked. It was considered common and unremarkable, rarely sparking curiosity. Most people spent it without hesitation, never giving it a second thought. As time passed, collectors began to revisit coins from the 1970s. They realized that value was not just about age, but about condition and rarity at the highest levels of preservation. A well-preserved 1978 penny stands out immediately. Lincoln's features appear sharp, the lettering is bold, and the fields look smooth and clean, creating a striking contrast to worn examples. Seeing such a penny can be a surprising experience. It challenges assumptions and ignites excitement, reminding collectors that treasures can hide in plain sight. Stories slowly emerged within the coin community about exceptional 1978 pennies. These stories inspired others to search through old jars, inherited collections, and forgotten boxes. This penny teaches an important lesson about survival. While millions were minted, only a tiny number avoided wear and damage, making pristine examples genuinely scarce. Holding a high-quality 1978 penny feels like holding a moment frozen in time. The coin becomes more than money. It becomes a quiet witness to history. Collectors often describe a deep sense of connection when studying such coins. They imagine the era it came from and the countless lives it touched. The simplicity of the design adds to its charm. Without dramatic changes or flashy elements, the coin allows its condition and story to take center stage. As interest grew, the 1978 Lincoln penny slowly earned respect within the numismatic world. It became a symbol of how overlooked years can gain importance. This coin also represents patience. Its story unfolded gradually, proving that true value often reveals itself long after a coin's release. Looking closely at this penny encourages curiosity. It invites people to slow down and appreciate the history hidden in everyday objects. For new collectors, learning about this coin often sparks a deeper interest in numismatics. It shows that discovery does not always require ancient dates or exotic designs. The 1978 Lincoln penny connects generations. Parents, children, and grandparents may all have handled the same type of coin, unknowingly sharing a link through time. Each surviving high-grade example strengthens the coin's reputation. Together, they form a narrative of chance, care, and endurance. The appeal of this penny lies not only in potential worth, but in the lesson it teaches about perspective and patience. Collectors continue searching, driven by the thrill of discovery. The hope of finding something extraordinary keeps the story alive. This penny proves that even the smallest denomination can carry immense significance. Its journey from spare change to collector treasure is inspiring. The 1978 Lincoln penny reminds us that history is not always loud. Sometimes it whispers through the simplest objects. Every time this coin is discussed, it reinforces the idea that value can grow quietly over time. The story of this penny encourages everyone to take a second look at what they already have. It stands as a reminder that the ordinary can become extraordinary when seen through the lens of history. The final chapter of its journey, the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1978 shows how hidden potential can rise to remarkable heights, with exceptional examples valued at $142,000. And if you have coins of your own, be sure to comment below so the channel can help you learn more about them. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, And like the video to support more fascinating coin stories like this. Top 5. The story of the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1979 begins in a period of quiet transformation for the country. The late 1970s were a time of both reflection and progress, and amid the backdrop of social change and economic challenges, this small copper coin carried on its steady journey through everyday life, unnoticed by most yet deeply intertwined with the nation's story. When you first look at the 1979 Lincoln penny, the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln immediately commands attention. His calm and composed expression conveys a sense of continuity and trust, a reminder that even in times of uncertainty, certain symbols endure. By 1979, Lincoln's image had become more than just a coin design. It had become a steadfast emblem of American ideals. This penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the absence of a mint mark. That small detail may seem insignificant to the casual observer, but it places the coin within a rich history of American coin production, linking it to a facility that has produced some of the nation's most iconic currency for generations. The composition of the 1979 Lincoln penny gives it a warm, enduring quality. Made primarily of copper, it has a subtle sheen that changes over time, reflecting the coin's journey through pockets, purses, and hands. The surface of the coin becomes a silent storyteller, capturing decades of circulation and history. Consider the countless ways this penny might have been used. It may have bought a newspaper, paid for a soda at a corner store, or been tucked into a child's piggy bank for safekeeping. Each interaction added a layer to its story, transforming an ordinary piece of currency into a living relic of everyday life. For many years, the 1979 Lincoln penny was overlooked by collectors. It was plentiful and easy to find, often dismissed as an unremarkable example of modern coinage. Most people used these coins without ever considering that they might one day be highly valued. As time passed, however, coin enthusiasts began to look at these pennies differently. They realized that condition, strike quality, and preservation could turn even a relatively modern coin into a rare and sought-after collector's item. High-grade examples of the 1979 Lincoln penny are immediately striking. Lincoln's facial features are sharp and well-defined, the lettering is clear and precise, and the fields of the coin are smooth, almost as if it has been untouched by time. This level of detail creates a sense of awe for collectors who appreciate the artistry involved. Finding a pristine 1979 penny can be a thrilling experience. It challenges the assumption that modern coins are not collectible and reminds collectors that treasures often hide in plain sight, waiting for a discerning eye to recognize them. Stories of exceptional 1979 pennies began circulating among collectors, inspiring others to examine their own collections more closely. These stories spread excitement and curiosity, encouraging people to search for hidden gems among coins that had long been ignored. This penny exemplifies the idea that rarity is not only about the number of coins minted but also about how many have survived in exceptional condition. While millions were produced, very few remain in the flawless state prized by collectors. Holding a high-quality 1979 penny evokes a sense of connection to the past. The coin becomes more than currency, it is a tangible link to an era, preserved across decades and generations. Collectors often describe a sense of wonder when examining a coin like this. They imagine its journey from the mint to the hands of countless Americans, picturing the stories it has silently witnessed over the years. The design of the 1979 penny is elegantly simple. Lincoln's portrait dominates one side, while the familiar inscriptions and smooth surfaces allow collectors to focus on the coin's preservation and historical significance rather than flashy details. Interest in overlooked coins like the 1979 Lincoln penny grew over time, turning what was once considered mundane into an object of fascination. Its story reminds collectors that value is often revealed slowly and requires patience and knowledge to fully appreciate. This coin also teaches the importance of observation and attentiveness. Small details, such as the sharpness of the date, the clarity of the lettering, or the quality of the strike, can transform a coin from ordinary to extraordinary. For new collectors, the 1979 Lincoln penny offers a gateway into the world of numismatics. It shows that discovery does not always require chasing centuries-old coins. Sometimes, modern coins hold hidden potential waiting to be uncovered. The 1979 penny connects generations of Americans. Parents, children, and grandparents alike may have handled this coin, creating a shared, quiet link through time. Each surviving example in top condition strengthens the coin's reputation. Together, they create a narrative of chance, care, and endurance that fascinates collectors and historians alike. The appeal of this penny extends beyond its potential monetary value. It demonstrates that everyday objects can carry historical and cultural significance when viewed through the right lens. Collectors continue searching for these coins, driven by curiosity, the thrill of discovery, and the hope of uncovering something rare. This sense of anticipation keeps the story of the 1979 penny alive. The 1979 Lincoln penny proves that even the smallest denomination can hold great significance. Its journey from daily currency to collector treasure reflects patience, insight, and an appreciation for history. This coin reminds us that history is not always grand or dramatic. Sometimes it is quiet, subtle, and found in the objects we use every day. Every time a collector discovers a pristine 1979 penny, it reinforces the idea that extraordinary value can emerge from the ordinary. This penny encourages a closer look at everyday coins, prompting collectors and casual observers alike to reconsider what they take for granted. The 1979 Lincoln penny embodies the principle that treasures are often hidden in plain sight. What appears commonplace today may become highly sought after tomorrow. It also highlights the power of preservation. Coins that survive decades without wear or damage become a testament to care and chance. The story of this penny invites everyone to reflect on the journeys of the objects around them, reminding us that history is often closer than we think. And the final chapter of its story, the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1979 demonstrates how even a seemingly ordinary coin can achieve extraordinary significance, with exceptional examples valued at $138,000. And if you have coins of your own, comment below so the channel can help you learn more about them. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and like the video to support more fascinating coin stories like this one.